même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think but the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, why do you keep chasing clouds?
ニコぼっちマイク壊れたからのメッセージ。ロケットリーグでライブ検索で出る10問やが。
わい。いやく。ありがとうございますね。むしろ初めて来てくれた人なんだよな。 見つけられんかった。わーい。おそらくここだけ真相ウェブだったんや。だから無理だったのか。なお配信全連敗中。じゃあ泥所行くしかないな。これは悪の出番じゃね？すまないな、スマブラやめられないんだ。いつもこんな感じで悪とかと試合してるんやで。じゃあこれからデータ初期化の呪いにかけてやるよ悪。 最悪だな。そうなりたくなかったらやってやれ。小デーだー。スマブラ楽しい。スマブラ楽しいのならいろんなキャラしよう。 は悪いけど明日配信するやろ。悪だわ。あ。すると思うよ。どうせトーナメント出るんやろ。まあね。またトーナメント優勝したいな。味方のレート900、君は一体どうしてそんなレートであの実力なんやろか。どうせ味方なんだろうな。 やろ。いつかいいともさんの配信も見ん増えるんだろうな。多分増えた分消すから元のままやで。もういっそのと他の配信にミラーしに行ってしまおうかしら。そうなんか。
You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes, baby.
まあ多分だけど人増えないのってロケリの名前で調べてもこの配信にたどり着けないからじゃね？なぜやろな、タグとかも設定してるはずんに。まあ少しずつ増えてくやろ。わかんねえな。せやな。 それじゃあ落ちますね。お子ちゃまなんで寝る時間なんで、おつおつ俺は垂れ流しで。
Google の新しいスマホ、それはたとえ暗い場所でも愛する家族を美しく撮りたいあなたのための Google が作った親バカカメラ。高性能なカメラも嬉しいプライスです。
Blow down the Huskies.
And that was just another opportunity. Both teams, they had opportunities, especially that was a huge one for Cosmo. Unfortunately, I don't think he realized it was open. He thought he was going to have to double tap it, and he failed that, unfortunately.
1時からトナメ&アルクス干渉ペックスかな。OK。 メや、すべてが裏目になる。今日はもうやめとけよ。やだ。着勝負やん。美しいフォルムだ。 流し見だけどね。
But top blokes, they had to pull out all the stops, and it was a tough one for sure. I'm looking at Redemption. And that lower bracket later on today.
Yeah, top blokes, they've had so much time to now show themselves at the top level, but a quick reminder for them as well that there will always be those teams trying to follow. But my match of the day was Oxygen versus Endpoint. So many questions about Oxygen coming into this one. You know, what are they going to look like? How solid are they going to look in terms of, well, how bad last split went for them? Can they start to bounce back? This was a fantastic way for them to start on this because they took down a team that has already been to a regional grand final, something that they have not managed to do yet. And this might finally, massively be the right step for this.
Don't say it. You're going to jinx it.
Don't do it. Look, they've only burnt me 3-4 times now. What's a fifth at this moment? You know, I feel numb to the pain. I am fully willing to go on the Oxygen train again off one match.
One nice thing for them, they will finish top 12 no matter what happens for the rest of this bracket. That's why those matches were so important, because now we see the lower bracket and it's not going to look any easier from there.
Well, we just recapped some of the matches there. Of course, I do recommend go back. There's tons of other great matches, but let's break it down just to the best of the best. It's time for our top 3 plays. Jorby, what do we got in this one?
For our very first one, we're going to pull out the beautiful team play that we actually saw in the highlights just now. This was really a culmination of everything that worked for Top Block. That pass from Archie right there is specifically what we're talking about. Cassio, a beautiful first touch, gets the second one to get by Ocelon. But Archie, he can take the shot there, but Cash likely has a chance to save it. Maybe, but I like the passing play there because you definitely take away the option. Cash tries to read what Archie's going to do. It's nigh unreadable for him sitting where he was. And that's why it's the number 3 play. Moving on to number 2. It is our resident mechanical monster, Astral. He was doing this all match long against Endpoint. He was basically the entire highlight reel for the team. When Astral's playing this well and he's hitting the ball this cleanly, Oxygen rarely give up games. And he hasn't been that level for Oxygen in the regionals. So to see him come out yesterday and put on that performance, you know, I could feel why Shogun wants to put his life on the line and get burned again, potentially. But Astral looking like that will be deadly. And of course, number 1 is the number 1 surprise of yesterday, which was denied 3-0ing Liquid. But look at this from Justice. Landing backwards off the ceiling, he boosted and drifted to drop off the ceiling as fast as possible to get that ceiling pass. Let's take a look at this one more time. Quick first touch is perfect. Launch lands perfect, holds drift, boost to kill all of his momentum so he falls right down. And then the pass as well was perfect. On the nose, this is perfect execution of this kind of pass. Justice nailed it, and so did Denied. And it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and I feel bad for new players in Rocket League. They're like, oh, it's free to play. I'm going to start playing this game. Maybe watch a few highlights, and then they see that, like, maybe I should put the controller down.
Here, I'm gonna say though, the one saving grace for them quitting right away is that they probably aren't gonna understand some of those fine little intricacies that a lot of those top players put into those things. And like just that play alone there, that number 1, Jorby, you probably, if you wanted to, could probably break that down for another 5 or 6 minutes. Just that single play based off the small things they're doing. So it's cool how much there is in Rocket League to really perfect and continue to get better. That skill ceiling is so high that I feel like we all were doing it at the beginning. When we were new players, we're like, we're the best at this game. I am so good.
That shot in particular, it's just a culmination of all the little things that you practice, right? And it's not like one giant thing that you work on. It's all those little things that help you grow.
Yeah, no, I think new players are going to continue to have fun. So keep at it. One day you guys can be up here as well. But let's talk about this format. We kind of briefly touched on it just a little bit in that section there. This is a little bit different than Swiss. It's not Swiss. Still lots of games. This is a double elimination 24-team bracket. Let's take a look at that upper bracket. Just kind of recap what we saw yesterday. We had a lot of teams going off. Instead of 3 lives, you only have 2 lives now. So teams that are up here still have their 2 lives, but if they do lose in the next few days here, they'll drop down to that lower bracket. So let's talk about that lower bracket there, Gibbs, because there have been a couple changes as well.
Yes, the lower bracket games have changed around a little bit because there was some confusion between both parties of there's a 32-team template for a lower bracket, there's a 24-team template. So this is the 24-team template to make the lower bracket first round matches more balanced. When we go to a 32-team one and just give teams buys, then these matchups would be a little bit more not in balance. So we wanted to go with the 24-team way. So that is why these lower brackets have changed. It was not supposed to be complicated. This is just double elim, but we find ways to complicate it anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, Gibbs, wasn't this to give you a break for a split of having to explain things? Well, just talking about these real quick, though, I mean, I'm looking at these I guess, halves, the upper and the lower half here, and I'm looking at that lower half like, I don't want to be in that, Jordy. Like that, it's looking crazy down there. I mean, I guess all these teams, you know, are probably going to put up a fight. But that lower half there, you got Galaxy Racing, you got Liquid, you got Fadeaway, you got Endpoint. That seems like a bracket you want to avoid.
Yeah, that is definitely not a fun one to go through. Anyone who comes out of round 1 alive will find round 2 on fire as they enter the pitch. It's definitely going to be difficult, but you know, I think that just speaks to the strength of how many teams in Europe are capable of, you know, performing on the day, and like that's what makes Europe so exciting. You get teams like even ones that are in the lower bracket here, like Denied and Redemption, that put on quite a fight in the upper bracket. Like, but now you got to go play. Liquid has to play Singularity, and Liquid even before things switched around, it's like it doesn't matter who Liquid gets paired against. They're going to have a fight from round 1 onwards in the lower bracket.
Just before we move on, Shogun, were there any surprises there? I want to say Team Liquid, but I don't know. That's a surprise.
That's the joy, isn't it? We've just had ourselves a little break and we get all of the roster moves and we don't know what is supposed to be a surprise. It could just be a case of in a couple of weeks from now we just turn around and just go, okay, well, it wasn't a good move. But for now, obviously, we have to look at the names. We have to look at the quality of the player coming in with the quality of the team that was already there. And Liquid would definitely go down as a little bit of a shocker on that one. But also their opponents, Singularity, I think they would have wanted a little bit more from themselves. There's a lot of teams. You know, it's the horrid part about all of this, is that day one, there's going to be a lot of teams that have just made their roster moves and go, it's cool, not panicking yet, but not what we wanted.
Yeah. Well, let's take it away from teams that maybe had an abysmal day to teams that had a great day, and see which team we thought maybe won day number 1, who had a really good showing, maybe above expectations, or just cruised through and had a great, awesome day. I'm going to start off with you, Gibbs.
We got to talk about Dignitas, because I talked about them, and I was like, they're going to have a slow start again. This is going to be trouble, and they make a roster move. They always take a while to get going, but they moved on to top 8, which means that they will finish top 12 no matter what happens at this point. That is a great finish for a brand new roster where they normally take a little bit of time. So for Dignitas, they should get better throughout this split, but they're starting off great.
And a similar story for, sorry, Leaf, go ahead.
No, I was just going to kind of add on to it real quickly that it wasn't even like they barely got there. It was 3-0s across the day for them, even over a team like Fadeaway. So they got BDS up next to in that, so it's not going to be easy. But, you know, the fact that they kind of showed that, okay, we're going to dominate was really good. Okay, Jarvis, you can.
Yeah, I mean, like similar story to Dignitas, I'm looking at Oxygen. You know, they didn't make a roster change. They were just trying to figure out how they were going to make things work. And Astral popped off yesterday. I really thought Endpoint were going to take them down. Endpoint had won the last 2 matches that they played against them, and they have been looking better and better as the split had gone on. And I thought that would be it, but no, Oxygen came up big time against Endpoint. I don't think that can be understated. I think that's huge for them. Like Dignitas, they can't finish worse than top 12, which is a massive improvement over what happened in the first split.
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with, again, that Dignitas pick there. Shogun, do you have any other team that maybe you thought won day number 1?
Yeah, it's the Team Keystone, hasn't it? Coming in, we were all talking yesterday about where Galaxy Racer was going to go. You know, can they once again be one of those top 6 sort of teams? And Keystone coming in with the new roster, they moved Greasy out, they brought in Salem, and they ended up taking them down, and they did it pretty convincingly at the same time. So it's a team that we've always been worried about. Is this the one-hit wonder? Do they have that one really nice regional to start off our season, and we wouldn't see them again? They're looking to prove us wrong here, And I would say, you know, their first round matchup against Oxygen, if there is a team in this top 8 that you might want, Oxygen might be that one because they're still unproven to be able to do it when the pressure is on them.
One more team.
You love that Shogun's like, oh, I'm gonna have Oxygen. I'm going to, you know, that's it. I'm ready to get burned for the 5th time. And he's like, well, it'd be great for Team Queso to have Oxygen because, you know,
it's called a complete lack of loyalty, Jordy. It means I cannot be hurt.
Fair enough.
The Vodafone Giants, we have to talk about them. They played 3 games. They averaged 5.33 goals per game in those 3 games. They look incredible now with Adachi, so I expect to see them make a huge run throughout this bracket.
Yeah, no, again, I think anybody that's in the upper bracket can probably say, hey, we had a great day. But yeah, there are some, especially making roster moves, and those are the ones you guys all just mentioned, that had that first day showing that, no, this was the right call. I think is good for them. But again, the splits are long, and there's a lot more games to play. Things can change down the road. So we'll see how that continues to fare down the road. But let's bring it back to a little bit of an oopsie. We sort of touched on this in the beginning, Gibbs. I know you said, I know we talk about them a lot, but let's talk on the clock. Liquid again real quick because something's gotta Jeremy's rolling his eyes right now. Something's gotta change here. Well, they did just change something and they're still in this situation.
No, okay, so you're not gonna give it to Git. Look,
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm done. I'm done talking about Liquid. Looking like, oh man, they disappointed again. We did that in Regional 1 and Split 1. Oh no, they disappointed again in Regional 2. It's like, oh, Liquid, what's going on? You know what? I'm done. I'm done talking about Liquid and how they didn't impress. Liquid haven't impressed, so I'm not impressed with Liquid. I don't even care about Liquid anymore. I don't care. We have all these other teams to talk about until Liquid start winning some games. Then come back and talk to me about Team Liquid. But for now, I'm done. I'm done.
See, my issue, they bring in the best goal scorer in all of Europe, probably with Ronnie, who's averaging more than 1 goal this game. I think was number 1 of all the fall split. And then they just put up 1 goal per game as a team. Only one team did worse on day 1. We won't mention their names. Don't worry about it, train hard. Don't worry about it. But okay. Team Liquid, you gotta figure this out now. Now is the time, because if you lose this, then when you go into World 2, you're gonna have a bad seed, and it's just gonna get harder and harder and harder. So they need to find a way to fix it today.
Shogun, I think Jorby gave a speech that even like Gibbs would be proud of there. Gibbs has gone in on teams before, but do you have any thoughts here? Maybe anything to add? Yeah, basically. Any suggestions maybe to the team or thoughts on what really could turn this around for them?
Oh, okay. Let's look at the I think it's sort of been mentioned this point. For Liquid to turn this around, though, I do feel like they have to. Yes, they were too clean. You know, they had the old school Dignitas problem where, oh, we have to go for a pass. No, you don't. You made this dumb Rocket League. Go and outpace them. Go and out-dribble them. Make it a race for the ball. You know, BDS have become massive. Long clears and then just making it awkward for you. And Team Liquid were playing it so that they could be as comfortable as possible rather than making their opponents as uncomfortable as possible. They need that switch. They need to make sure that they say, we're the better team at recovering. We're the better team at pace. We can beat you in the air, on the floor, anywhere. Just don't try and go for the set play every single time because it can be red.
Well, we're going to watch.
I love the Liquid. I want to see them play.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all do.
When it comes to talking about it, Lee, there's not.
Where are we on the cycle of acceptance?
It's you know, it's a never-ending cycle of grief, Shogun.
It's still true. Well, we're gonna watch Team Liquid face off against Singularity very soon to find out if they can pull things together on day number 2, or if there are a couple other kinks to work out heading into a future regional. For now, I want to talk about upset potential, teams that really can take down those teams we would expect to team, and those dark horses here, because I feel like a couple of them did kind of rear their faces yesterday, and we're all kind of sitting back being like, oh, this match could go differently than what we expected now coming into day number 2. Shogun, I want you to start me off with some picks here for, or even just one of a dark horse team you think really could make some waves.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the brackets right now, and I have to say the 4 teams at the very top, I'd have to say Denied, looking very likely to go through past the team that you would expect at the start of this, which would be Solary. So Denied looked really, really good yesterday, and it might B, you know, we have a tendency of doing this as analysts, of sort of saying, oh, hey, the last performance we saw, that must be them permanently now. But if they can just keep Chippy in the same mindset, he's done the exact same full-day routine so far. He comes on in, he's ready to play the exact same way. They might very well have a shot. And you compare Solary and what we've seen from them previously compared to some of the other teams we've got in this lower bracket, you would say they were one of the weaker ones and definitely an easier target for a team that might be coming in form.
Jorby loves recency bias. He also loves that Chippy train. Was that your pick as well, Jorby? Did you have someone else as a dark horse?
Denied were my number 2 for a dark horse, but
Okay.
I thought Redemption really impressed yesterday. Like they just played so fast. And when we talk about Mike Boy, Ocelon, and Cash, like usually Cash is the guy that is consistently putting the ball in the net for their team. The offense typically runs through him, but I was so impressed with Mike Boy's ability to like slow the play down, or not slow the play down, but catch the ball in tight situations and make a lot of plays awkward for Top Looks. That performance against Top Looks was so fast. A team that plays that quickly is going to be a threat for anybody that they go up against in the lower bracket. I think this is the perfect spot for Redemption, actually. Top 8 would certainly be a tough one to get in the upper bracket with the teams that are there. But looking at the field that they have to play against, I think Redemption, I think they do come out of that lower bracket pretty far.
My question to you, Jorby, is I'm looking at Cash's teams right now throughout the season. He's had, what is it, this now? 5? If we go across the entire year, it's up to about 8.
He's getting to like journeyman status.
If they don't make it through today, does the team stick together?
I mean, I think that, you know, I have to see the performance today because, like you said, one performance we see, it's like that's the team now. Maybe they were just playing up above their station against Top Looks. That's entirely possible. But I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case. I think this iteration, this Cash team, is a little different than the previous ones before. I don't think you had consistency like you did with Mike Boy and with Ocelon to just constantly shovel the ball out of tight situations, look for passing plays, and also mix it up. You know, it's not all about the passing, it's not all about testing the backboard. I think that they realized that, and it showed in their play on the field.
Yeah, so I feel like those were the easy picks. Gibbs, did you have anyone else, or were you going to line up with one of their picks?
So let me tell you about this unknown team and Team Liquid. No, I'm just I'm going the same way. We got Redemption, number 1 for me, then Team Denied. Those two teams are looking great from day one. But the problem is it's Rocket League, and every match is different. And when you get teams that are inconsistent, that normally are that good, then we could see some inconsistencies today, but I hope to see both those teams make it through day 2.
Well, let's make some predictions here. Let's talk about these lower brackets and how we think these are going to go. We're going to each of you pick the two teams we think are going to make it through in these different halves of this lower bracket here. So looking at the upper part, the lower bracket, the upper part of the lower bracket here. This is also, by the way, going to be broadcast on twitch.tv/UGC. We will have the lower half we'll show in a few minutes here, but this one will be on UGC. So if you want to watch these matches, make sure you have that stream up as well. But let's predict here. Let's keep this up and let's predict who's going to make it through. I'm going to go down the line. I'll start with you, Gibbs, the two teams that will make it out through the lower bracket today.
Shogun is crazy. Solary, they have Tox now. They're looking good. Like, I think that team is going to be better than they were last split. I got Solary coming out of that top. And then Redemption. I do like this team a lot. Maybe it's because of that underdog pick, but I think they can prevail and make it through.
Over triple trouble. Okay, okay, Jorby, who do you got coming through?
I'm going to go with the one that I obviously just shielded for. I'm going to pick Redemption to come out of that little quadrant. I don't think S7 have what it takes. Wolves in triple trouble. I could see either team actually taking that match, and I think that Redemption are going to have their hands a little more full than they will in the first round, but I do think Redemption are fast enough of a team to come out of that. As far as the upper side, this is hard for me to pick. Like, I'm fighting between Solary and I don't know about Denied fully. Like, I like this Rich GG team, but I think I gotta go.
Let's make this easier for you, Jorby. Who do you like more, me or Gibbs?
Oh, man.
He likes Rich GG, obviously.
I'm not hesitating because I'm trying to decide which I like more. It's so obvious that I like Shogun more.
Wow. Gibbs, I want you to know I set that one up for him to turn on me.
I mean, like, I did mention Team Liquid a lot today. I get it.
No, it's okay. But Solary, Gibbs, I do agree with you that, you know, Tox added to that roster. They're looking a little better with it. But Denied, I think, might give them a fight. I think they take down Rich in that first round. And Solary and Denied, it's a coin flip, but I think I'll pick Solary.
Going with Solary. Okay, how about this is looking pretty similar here. So what about you, Shogun?
So they both picked Solary, did they? Idiots! Denied. Move on through on that upper side. It's gonna be them moving on through. I don't have to explain this one. I'm already correct. As for the bottom side, I'll join them. You know, they get to be right on one of the two here. I'll go with Redemption.
All three for Redemption on that lower half, but a little bit of a split on the upper. So we're going to find out that in a little bit here. And again, make sure you head over to twitch.tv/UGC to watch all those matches there. But the matches we're going to have, let's take a look at those. The lower half of the lower bracket here, 8 teams, only 2 are going to make it through. I wonder who it's going to be. Let's just go down the line again here. Actually, no, let's start. We're going to start with Shogun. Gibbs, you go last this time.
Sure, that's fine.
Let's start with Shogun.
I thought we were going to go last with Jobby here and just see what he has to say on that top side. I'll go for Liquid for this one. I feel like even the way I said that wasn't with as much enthusiasm.
Wow, I'm surprised.
You're not even sold on it. You weren't even sold on it. You're just
not
picking
after what I saw yesterday, but I'm hoping that once we get through this, I'll turn around and just go, you know what? It was just a one day off. It's fine. They've got it together. This team is a team to be excited for yet again. But I've got Liquid going through on that top side. Bottom side, Galaxy Racer. It's a tough one as well. I think it's between them and Endpoint here, but I think Galaxy Racer have proven themselves to be just that little step above. I don't know how they'll do for this split, but I'll go with them.
Okay, you know what? I actually kind of like the idea of Jorby going last to see just to really see what he does. So we're gonna switch it up to Gibbs here. I'm sorry, Jorby, but I'm curious now.
Team Liquid, no way. They're third best in that group of 4 teams. Team Singularity is going to take it. I've talked about Scrub Kill a lot, but now he's teamed up with Hibbs, all right? They got a great dynamic duo there. Like, Team Singularity is going to take that. Fadeaway will give them a fight, but I think Team Singularity comes out on top. And then the bottom side is tough because it's 2 top 5 teams that fell down early with Endpoint and Galaxy Racer, and it really comes down to those 2. I'm going to go Endpoint. I normally don't pick them, but I think they can prevail. They played an Oxygen that was looking really strong. I think Endpoint will beat Galaxy Racer in that final.
I like that because I like Endpoint, so I'm with you on that one. But for Jorby here, the real question now is after his very emotional speech before, does he believe maybe this is the turnaround for them? What do you got for this lower bracket? Which teams are making it through?
I think that even if Liquid beat Singularity, I think that both of those teams lose to Fadeaway today. I think that Fadeaway matches up well against either of those teams. They're typically successful against teams that sit around the level of where Liquid and Singularity are. And you know, I thought they had a rough day 1, and I think they recover here in day number 2. I think they come through alive on that top half. As far as the bottom half, I am with Gibbs. I think Endpoint come out of this. I also thought, you know, it was a little underperforming against Top Looks. I expected a better performance for them, but didn't get it. Or not Top Looks, excuse me. But Galaxy Racer definitely going to give them a fight. But I do think Endpoint recover here. I still think that this is their format, and they will find success this way.
Well, there you have it. We have those early predictions for those brackets. We'll see how those go as we watch all those matches for the rest of the day. And let's just take a look at the schedule real quick before we talk about our first match. Just a reminder again, that upper half will be on twitch.tv/UGC. The lower half, this is what you're going to see on this stream right here, twitch.tv/Rocket League. These are the matches, and of course, we don't know our second round of that lower. That's why you have the TBDs there. So you have some good matches to look forward to.
Yes, it is going to be a brutal day. We got 12 matches. 12 teams will be out of the tournament. We will cut the field down in half. So, like any of those teams from the top 8, they're not playing today. So don't worry about them. They will play tomorrow. But today is all about taking teams out. We have 12 teams left. It's gonna be rough because we talked about those predictions, how hard that was, where you can only pick 1 out of those 4 teams in all of those quadrants. It's gonna be incredibly rough.
Day 2 is the day of heartbreak, and that starts very soon. So let's talk about this first matchup. Team Liquid versus Singularity will be kicking us off. One of these teams is going to be going home. We've already heard a lot of speeches about how we all feel about Team Liquid here. So let's talk a little bit how we feel about Singularity going into this match. Shogun, if you want to start us off, Singularity, again, making a change recently. You know, it obviously didn't go well for them in the upper side, but they still have a second life here to try to push to that lower bracket. How are we feeling about this roster?
We feel like this is a typical like starting base for a scrub killer team. Really, they individually looked really good yesterday. I really liked what I was seeing. Hibbs especially had a lot of good plays when he was individually on the ball. But the difficulty is going to be when the pace picks up, those sort of teams always end up double committing. And that's what we got yesterday. It's what cost them a number of times. I'm very worried that they might have the old guild problem where they put a lot of pressure on and then concede the dumbest goal possible.
Okay, that doesn't sound like a good plan.
I think that, you know, it's tough because I agree with you, Shogun, that, you know, Singularity have that. It seems to be a problem with double committing when they are faced with a little bit of pressure. But I think you could say the same about Team Liquid. Team Liquid really struggle as soon as just a little pressure is put on them on defense. They triple commit. They straight up whiff on some of their attempts to save the ball. I don't know what to expect from Liquid when they hit the field. Like, are they going to be amazing, or are they just going to flounder when they're under a little bit of pressure in their own half? This is tough. So I got to go.
I would like to point out, Jorby had the chance here to talk about a different team than Team Liquid, and he went right back to it.
You talked about. I'm not gonna add on to your Singularity point.
Okay.
Just after
Come
you
in,
talked
just
all
say,
about
Shogun,
Singularity.
you are right about everything.
Okay.
Gibbs, what do you want?
Oh, man.
I want to find out what chat. I want to find out what chat's doing. The fan vote's up, guys. We've given some impassioned speech today. TL or SNG in the chat with the hashtag get your votes, and we'll look at that result in a second here. Before that, let's quickly get, we sort of did that in the section before. Let's get our flat out predictions out here. Gibbs, I'm going to let you go first. Otherwise, these two are going to keep fighting.
Two of the best moves throughout the entire split was you pick up Scrub, you pick up Roniki, and now one of these teams is coming last. That's how brutal this format is. I'm going to go Team Singularity. I think they have.
Okay. Jorby.
I have to see Liquid win before I can start picking them. It's Singularity for me.
Okay. How about you, Shogun?
I have to see Singularity win before I can start picking them. It's Team Liquid for me.
I'm gonna stay out of this one and just let chat make the final decisions on this one. So close, 51 to 49. You guys did a good job of splitting them down the middle here. It's going to be an extremely close match. Get on Twitter and let us know how excited you are for day 2. These teams probably not, because some of them are going home. On Twitter at RL Esports, hashtag RLCS. But it's now time to find out which team is our first to go home over in the Skybox.
So here's the joy of me being on the first cast, as well as that I get to talk and Jorby doesn't. Thank you, Twitch chat, for being overwhelmingly in my favor on that Twitch vote. Corelli, how are you doing, lad, and what are you making of this first match?
Well, what can I say that hasn't been said on the desk? A lot of passion for this first match of the day, and I think the desk made a great point. Before you can start picking either of these teams, somebody's got to win, and we're at a point now where one of these teams has to win, one of them has to lose. And look, we know there's a lot of talent on these teams, and we give them a hard time because we kind of set the bar high for them. And you know, Team Liquid yesterday, you think back to their denied matchup, and you think, you know, for most of that series, I think you got a pretty good control of the game. It felt like Team Liquid were playing in sync, but that shot never came through, and they're almost giving up the first goal right off the bat as Singularity coming out hot.
And I do really like that play from Singularity. They did a good job of just spotting that they could take an extra touch, try and set up for a nicer shot for themselves. But I think this is going to be nice for us as well, Corelli, because we got to cast both of these teams yesterday. And, you know, we weren't glowing with our reviews. So it's going to be nice to be able to turn around with all these teams and say, all right, this is a bit better. Let's see which one that is going to end up being. That missed touch from Speed, certainly not going to help out. And that is a double commit as well. Just catastrophic amount of mistakes. They're not going to get away with it, but now Scrub Killer catches him out. Speed needs to reset his rotation here. Gets himself a 100 boost, and he will be back into it.
Oh, great job by Speed. That second touch after the first challenge was crucial to get down that sideline. And Roniki as well. He was the one who landed on that initial shot from the Singularity side. But you can already see, I mean, that was a little dangerous there on the defensive side of things. We even saw it a lot yesterday. Sometimes Team Liquid have to send 2, even 3 players at some point to get the ball out of their end. You can even see now in the first minute of this game, having to double commit on the goal line.
Has been Singularity that have had the better chances so far. On occasion, Team Liquid getting caught up. Scrub Killer has got Hibs available, goes to him. And again, it was a good shooting opportunity for Team Singularity. Can't quite find that finishing touch, but they are much closer to the final product than Liquid have been. Rocky decides just to boom and clear. He's going to be able to follow. This is more what I want to see. Don't overplay it. Just make it awkward and then see what you can follow up on. Demo.
Wide
just
open.
got over to Rocky, and there we go. Team Liquid have got there first.
And that is what I think Team Liquid really need to replicate as they go through this series. That was great pressure. Like you said, they put the ball in a very awkward spot. And there's a demo that came out. They got the double commits come out from the defensive side of things, Singularity. So for Team Liquid, it doesn't have to be the most pretty goal. It doesn't have to be the most elegant passing play ever. You just got to put the pressure on them and wait for those mistakes to come. And they certainly did here with their first goal.
Maybe Team Liquid have got part of the contract that they get a bonus if they're in the top 3 plays.
Exactly.
Speed. Over to the side. That's a well-read touch, though, from Scrub. Trying to prioritize the mid-100 boost. Roniki's going to go all the way to the other side of the field now.
Oh, great.
Giving him a lot of space. But finally realizing, my team's not getting out of here anytime soon. Better come back. Roniki, nice touch around Hibs. Can't quite get the flick he was after. Liquid looking a little bit more confident now, despite what was a start that went against them. Rodaki sets himself up. Breezy will keep it out. Back and forth here in game 1.
Yeah, quite confident from Team Liquid moving downfield. Again, I think right now the biggest thing for them is keeping that defense intact, but they seem to be in good control moving downfield when they have a bit of space. And a quick shot to maybe catch the defense out. Speed having to put another one on. Breezy to clear it away. Another shot. That's everyone from Team Liquid getting involved in the shooting department there. Still can't break the defense. You have to give credit to Singularity there. Good formation. Stay in front of the ball and clear that one out.
Oh, good bump as well. Speed will not be able to react, and Rodaki has to recover. Bumped in midair when he attempted his first save. Second one, nobody around to stop him. But this backboard is more than open. Oh. Singularity again off target. That's the 3rd shot they've had now. That probably should have resulted in a goal.
And that's a painful one for Breezy as well. It goes off the inside of the post. Breezy had another attempt. Hibs, I don't think he's going to get up to that one and out. Team Liquid trying to break out. Scrub doing a good job to deny it initially. And a double commit from Breezy and Hibs. Breezy still on the ball. Good first cut. Gets the dunk on Speed. And Singularity still trying to keep this attack alive.
Singularity just starting to work with the advantages they've got, and they've had them throughout the entirety of the game. Scrub Killer realizes unchallenged, decides to go low, takes out 2, 1 each.
I love the communication coming out for his team. Scrub had the eye of the ball the entire time as it floats across the box. Realizes he has so much space to work with. He doesn't have to one-time this ball. Brings it down, forces a tough challenge for the last man on the goal line, and throws it through the defense. Great play by Scrub. Singularity finds the equalizer.
Shooting was, oh, no way. Oh, he almost managed to get it to land on him. A musty flick into a mid-air 1-2 shot. That would have been, well, suddenly the bonus going to them, apparently, as Breezy's going to move on in. And Team Singularity have turned on the Jets in this final minute, finding the shots they couldn't.
Oh, Fruity got bumped out of the way. That's why he couldn't stay with the ball. Hibs gives them a bump right in the tailpipe, moves them just in front of the ball, lets Breezy come through, and that's tough for that last defender. It's tough to react to that oncoming attacker with so much momentum behind the ball. And like you said, Singularity now, less than 30 seconds to go. The offense has been turned up 11 shots in their favor, and we really haven't seen much from Team Liquid since the beginning of the match.
Scrub Killer takes his time. Speed tried to just swat the ball away from him, but he's still taking multiple players out. This is where you want Scrub at his best, where he can just dance around the field. He'll always get the transition for you. It doesn't need to go, especially when his team is up by 1. Speed's got the ball in the air. That's at least one part done. Scrub will try to guide it. Speed was getting bumped by Hibs. There was a double commit. Roniki might be able to recover. Still keeps it in the air. Has to drop to the floor for the game to be over. Speed, will he have the infield option? Roniki is on the far side. There's a lot of work to do for Speed. Managed to get midfield, and Hibs intercepts. Team Singularity take game 1.
And it was a bit of a slow start from Singularity. This wasn't you know, coming out hot right out the gates. Team Liquid, I think, actually looked better in the first half of this game, minus maybe a couple double commits on the defensive side of things. But Singularity really turned it up halfway through this match. I think they found their form, they found their stride, and they really gave Team Liquid a tough time on defense. And it kind of goes back to the initial point that I made. If you go back and watch the film yesterday, especially against Denied, Team Liquid really struggled by sending too many players to the ball on the defensive side of things. And again, you're seeing that here. That chaos is kind of where Team Singularity thrive on the Liquid end.
Absolutely. On Liquid, I did notice one thing in this game that we didn't get from them yesterday, and that is the much longer Ronicky rotations where he challenges and he's happy to stay downfield for a little while, maybe go and steal the back boost, even though his team is still under defensive pressure. That is something that we saw from him when he was on Barca. Now, it does give a couple of options. One, he can be cleared to, but I think the other thing that we saw him evolve into in the second half of the last split is the demos on the way back on the third player. If you can start incorporating that, it might give him a chance to start helping what has been a difficult time for Team Liquid when it comes to getting their clears. So far, Singularity have managed to keep them held back for quite a while. Here we go, game number 2. And it'll be 4 panic stations already for Team Liquid if they end up losing this game, because they will require a reverse sweep just to maintain their position in this regional. Drops down. He's going to start moving on in. Difficult time for Ronicky to rotate out as he seems to just be instantly following the ball. Ronicky double tap. He's got the crossbar. Speed for a follow-up shot. Didn't need any power on it. Just had to make sure it was on target.
Yeah, great initial touch here from Ronicky to follow this one up. Just couldn't get over it enough. It was a tight angle to hit, but great follow-up from Speed, knowing that was a tough shot for Ronicky. And Team Liquid on the board first here in the first 40 seconds or so. That's a great start for Team Liquid. Like we've been talking about, they've struggled to find the back of the net in many of their matches yesterday, and then of course here today already. And getting one here in the first minute is a great way to start things off.
Singularity still finding a lot of success over in that Team Liquid corner. Might have another one. Scrub Killer tried to chase down Ronicky. Be available for the pass. He will be. Up goes Scrub. What a play!
Look at the space afforded to Team Singularity as well. This is the second time Scrub has so much space almost inside the box of Team Liquid. Nobody on the challenge. That last man in the net. No way he can save that. Scrub Killer, great job and a good pass down from Hibbs as well. But Team Liquid, they've got some gaps in the defense right now, and Singularity are exposing them.
One thing Speed is that he keeps arriving to the defensive play so early that he ends up having to either go past the line that he'd want to take, or he just has to stop moving. Either one, not ideal for him. On the last one, he had to turn all the way around to the backboard again, and no one challenges. And if no one's going to challenge Singularity right now, they are going to be more than happy to score.
And it's just happening so fast, too. Great pass from the ceiling. Hibbs is already there. The defense from Team Liquid hadn't even jumped yet. They weren't even up for the ball. And Singularity, just that pure speed. Literally just being faster to the ball right now. And Team Liquid just couldn't react.
Ronicky, he wants to set up. Don't get it. Scrub Killer. They're on time. There's more urgency right now for Singularity than there is for Liquid. Pass. Scrub Killer would like to have been a little bit further wide so we could have received it. He will be turning up. Will Ronicky go for him? Instead, Ronicky solo plays and easily taken away by Hibbs. And Hibbs has already got it past Fruity. Here comes Breezy to help out. It's on the goal line and cleared by Ronicky. That corner has been the best friend to Singularity throughout this series, and they are continuing to find success. Liquid, they have to find a response to it.
Singularity really do work the corners quite nicely in the offensive third. And like you said, Liquid, I think it really comes down to the positioning of the defense and the communication, because a lot of times 2 players go from Liquid, and that's a great passing play. Fruity couldn't put it away, but 2 players go from Liquid and they leave space for Singularity to take advantage of, and they're just playing at a pace that's so much faster than Liquid at the moment.
Speed. Looks like a passing option. He's not going to turn up for a while, though. And Breezy might have a chance to try to set up here. He will indeed.
Oh, Breezy.
And And Breezy wipes out all three members of Team Liquid.
Look at right here. Wave dash, catch up to the ball. He had no boost to work with. That was the fastest way he could have gotten to that ball. That's truly some impressive stuff from Breezy to force that play to happen. And great follow-up, of course. But that was all Breezy to make that chance happen.
Singularity are clicking here. Yesterday we saw a lot of individual attempts. Today they're using the individual brilliance to open up space. Bring the next player in, and it is working a charm. He will be able to recover. I'm not going to go for the reset. He is actually just to go about it a bit more difficult way than he was initially expecting. It's a good flick over this time. They've got it passed through, and what a play that is! A little bit of life here.
Yeah, great speed from Rudy, but look at this flip reset from Ronicky. The defense, I think, hesitated for just a moment with that flick. I think Ronicky got a little bit more than those last two defenders expected on Team Singularity, and Fruity knew all the way and was quickly up to that ball. That's the speed that Liquid needs if they're going to contest Singularity.
Ronicky might have just got them to misread it a little bit, because everything we've seen from Liquid so far says that that's going to be a much more direct pass to Fruity. I haven't really tried to run onto too much so far. That one was just Ronicky opening the space and saying, hey, Fruity, well, here you go. Let's see what you can do with this. There might be a shift that can help them here. Going to be off target. Minute and 20 left. Team Liquid still trailing by one, but Ronicky back to the backboard. That's some success with the double commit. The double taps. No success with double commit.
Ill-advised in most cases, but sometimes they can work out. Here's Ronicky trying to pick it up in the corner. Scrub actually misses the ball. It's wide open. Equalizer found for Ronicky on the huge defensive miss.
And Singularity have looked so good all series, and it's a complete blunder. Over in the corner. Team Liquid back in it. 3 each. Next goal is huge.
And that's a painful one to give up for Team Singularity, but you got to keep going. Got just under a minute left here in this game, but Liquid slowly creeping back in, and they'll take advantage of opportunities if you give it to them, as would most teams. Here's Scrub in the corner trying to work it again for Singularity, as it doesn't work out for him this time.
Back to that corner. Liquid happy to see no orange cards trailing them, but here's Ronicky downfield. It's where Team Liquid would like him to be. Target man to really open up their rotation. Fruity keeps the pressure going. It's another good read by Scrub Killer, and they might actually be through here if they can just get it past speed. Decide to take their time. They've got the 100 boost. They've taken speed out now. Taking Ronicky out as well. The bump. Fruity has to try and be proactive. He's now removed from the play. Team Singularity can't find too much else. They're playing for the long haul here. And booming clear from Ronicky gives them a little bit of help. Fruity.
Oh, this is dangerous.
One more time.
Scrub's there.
Scrub Killer to win it. Off the backboard. Nobody available for the rebound. We have overtime.
Scrub trying to make up for that defensive blunder earlier. Couldn't finish it here. And into overtime we go in game 2.
Breezy tries to get rid of speed. He's managed to at least get it past Ronicky, but speed darting around the offensive demos. To the corner. Ronicky and Fruity both in the same position. That means that speed can't really go midfield for the passing option. Breezy has had a fantastic performance in this game. Can he deliver them a winner? Scrub Killer back to the wall there. Giving Team Liquid the chance to come back into this off the backboard. Scrub challenges first time. There's no real pace on this right now. As Liquid do double commit, it won't affect them at all.
Again, Liquid, I don't know if it's a communication thing or don't trust each other, but his comes through on the touch. I didn't even expect it to happen. It just happened so lightly and so quickly. And 48 seconds is what Team Singularity needed to take down Liquid in game 2.
So Breezy earlier on got ridiculous wave dash recoveries to try and continue.
Singularity, that's, I think, that consistent play style. They've been able to string this together now for a couple games that are going to win them series like this, that even push them further in this tournament. Team Singularity, they're looking real good right now, Shogun.
Certainly are. Scrub Killer wants to take out Ronicky. These bump plays having a lot of success, but a booming clear means Scrub will be by himself. Be available for the challenge. He certainly is. A bump on Breezy. Ends up just colliding into the ball. Drop over to Fruity. What a passing play. Almost on the double tap. Speed decides to dive on in. Now Team Liquid have got to try and retreat. It's a good play from Fruity to buy them some time. In fact, they can try and keep a hold of this for a little while longer. Can they pick up those 100 boosts? No, it's Breezy. Wins the challenge. Singularity back out, but it might only be momentary. Fruity has forced the challenge out from Scrub. This play might be fizzling out here.
Missed by Fruity. Ronicky there to at least pick things back up for Team Liquid, and they are spending some time here in the offensive third, and that's a dangerous ball across the box from Speed. And over to Ronicky now. He couldn't pick it up either. It's still that midfield controlled by Liquid. Fruity up to it quickly. This might just go in for him. Ronicky's there. Oh, he missed the shot. It was wide open. That's the shooter. And yet Ronicky couldn't come up with it.
There was more degrees available there where it would go on target than there was off target. And somehow, some way, we are still at no goals for either team. Let's put that to the back of his mind now and immediately get back onto the hunt for this goal. Here's Scrub Killer. We've already seen Singularity face a little bit of competition towards the beginning of the games and then start to grow into it. They'll be looking to do the same thing here. Team Liquid looking like the stronger of the two teams right now. He's going to drop into the midfield. Scrub Killer, good touch. Liquid having a lot of possession. And not getting the goal for it just yet. Ronicky tries to find speed. They're now going for the complete outpace right now at Team Liquid. There's no real aim to any of these passes. That one will be aimed towards speed. Breezy has the read on the play. And now Hips one-on-one against Ronicky. What can Ronicky do to keep this one out? Absolutely nothing.
This is great from Hips. Looking to pick this one up and slow play Ronicky. Wanted to pick it up. I think it got away from him a little bit, so he just decides to block. And Ronicky, a little bit panicked coming back. Didn't know what option Hibbs was really going for until it was too late to see that ball just float right on by. Great play from Hibbs. He knew he had backup as well, and Ronicky was the last man back. And Singularity get the go-ahead goal.
Goal that puts Team Liquid out of this. Scrub Killer doesn't go solo yet again. Fruity already up, but that's so much boost used. Did not have the option to use the backboard. Fruity, he'll be around. Eggs once again wants to go solo. He's managed to get another two players going just for him. Singularity have now grown into this game. What can Team Liquid do? Fruity launches it for Ronicky. A lot of work for Ronicky to do here. Was never going to be able to really set up for the double tap. That's going to drop down. Speed can't find Scrub. Means they can get crucial contact. I mean, it's off target. Lost it there. Good pressure. None of it is really all that threatening. Team Singularity doing all the right moves to keep the ball away.
Right. It is good defense from Singularity. It's very direct from Liquid as well, and it's not super creative from them. It feels like everything is directly at the net. Singularity just has to play what's in front of them. They don't have to worry about that second or third option. And a lot of shots kind of glance across the box as well. They're not, on target, or at least if they are, they're not hit with such pace that makes it tough for any defender to make the save. And Singularity, while sure they're having to play some defense, I'm not really sure they're too upset with what they're having to deal with right now.
It was defense that gave them access to their first goal. Struck the counterattack, past the speed is
that's
behind him, and okay, apparently all of Singularity are determined to get some sort of own goal. Maybe it was, maybe they were just so unconvinced by the offense so far they decided to themselves a little bit of a test, but that one will wake him up. Hibbs has to smother the shot from Speed. 1 minute on the clock. Team Liquid on the verge of going out first in this tournament. Speed can't double tap. Ronicky won't have a passing option because Fruity's all the way back from the halfway line. Instead, Scrub Killer with Hibbs in the midfield. Can take it, might try and pass it back. Instead, Speed takes it away. 40 seconds here, Corelli.
Yeah.
And very little time to turn this around.
And Liquid has spent a lot of time with the ball in the midfield. Here's finally a good setup where someone's able to pick it up. That comes clean off the back wall. 30 seconds now Liquid looking for the passing option, but I think it's going to get cut out. And Speed does a good job to rotate all the way back and actually picks it up for Team Liquid. Now 20 seconds, and that's actually a fine clear by Hibbs. The bounce clear and the bump. Is that space for Breezy? Yes, it will go in for Breezy. I thought the save was going to be made by the last man, but Singularity might have just sealed the deal.
What a pick by Scrub Killer. Sees that Speed wants it and wipes him out. And Team Liquid, this is the worst possible start. Speed will clear long. They've got to score off this if they are to even have a chance. But it does look like it's going to go away from them. Team Singularity march on. Team Liquid are eliminated first. And there will be a lot of questions to answer in Regional 2.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of questions and a lot of things that I think Team Liquid have to work on here. But for Team Singularity, I want to give them a lot of credit. This was a great series from them. I thought Breezy and Hibbs actually looked phenomenal in this series. I think Scrub played fine just as well, but Breezy and Hibbs really stepped up, and they really looked like a solid duo on that attacking front, and it was actually Scrub finding that defensive third man to really lock things down, except for that one miss on the back wall. We won't talk about it for him, as they do win the series out anyway. And for Team Liquid, like you said, it really is, you know, the cliche thing is to say back to the drawing board, but I think it's true for them here. Whatever they brought out here in this first regional, it's not it. They got to come up with something different in the second one.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, for Team Singularity, we were mentioning yesterday, we like the individual plays. We feel like all three of these players are very, very talented when it comes to when they've got ball and boost and just trying to rip defenses apart. But what can they do after that? Well, we got to see today, all right, now they're playing off the ball much better. They're giving each other passing options. We already saw the bump plays were phenomenal. There was no good time for Team Liquid just to relax in defense, because if they are in defense, they are constantly being hunted by the attempted bump. So a very, very difficult time for Team Liquid and a fantastic time for Team Singularity. But we do need to find out who they are going to be playing. I have to also go and deal with a very, very smug Jorby, so that'll be a fun time for me. But when we come back, it is going to be Drifters against Fadeaway.
闇市が出てしまったぜ。 滑る。